Hello everybody and welcome to more MotoGP 15 career mode action, and today we have travelled from France to Spain via Italy, and we are here at Catalunya for the 7th round of the championship, and things are heating up in Moto 2 once more, and good news in the inbox here, as our objective is now to finish in the top 10 at least every race as opposed to 15th. But anyway, let's see what has warranted such a upgrade. Well, at a rather wet Italian Grand Prix at Mugello, I managed to carve my way up from 7th to 4th. It wasn't my greatest race, and it certainly put me under pressure again in the championship. And if we take a look at that now, whoops, come on. There we go. So in Moto 2, Johan Zarco now has a 25-point lead over me in the Riders' Championship. And Tito Rabat is third place to 18-point deficit, and Sam Lowes is 13 points back. So it's looking like Zarco's title already, just like it was in real life, but we can't rule it out. In Moto 3, we can see Danny Kent has a 15-point lead, as he wasn't successful in Italy. Vasquez and Brad Binder providing the nearest challenge. And then in MotoGP, we have Valentino Rossi. He was beaten in his home Grand Prix by Marc Marquez, it seems. Jorge Lorenzo is third and Danny Pedrosa fourth. So there's definitely plenty of excitement in the series now. I'm looking to get a little bit of payback on Zarco and win this race, as I didn't stand much of a chance in Italy. I didn't like the wet conditions there, as opposed to Le Mans where it's just drying conditions. But now, without any further hesitation, let's head straight to Catalunya. It's another wet session on MotoGP 15, everybody, and Johan Zarco has claimed a very, very impressive pole position here in Catalunya. Sam Lowes was the nearest to him, and I claimed the final spot on the first row, just a tenth of a second behind, but I just couldn't compete with the top two riders there. Tito Rabat fourth, Alex Rins fifth, Jonas Folger sixth, Xavier Simeon seventh, Franco Morbidelli eighth, Tomas Luthi ninth, Mick Kallio 10th, and let's take a look at the rest of the grid, scrolling down to the bottom. And the rain showers have cleared. Race day will be dry with a track temperature of 40 degrees, air temperature 24, despite no sign of the sunshine. And the wind speed isn't too bad, so we should be absolutely fine. And I start on the outside of the pole sitter Johan Zarco, but I get the inside line heading into turn 1. So can we use it to our advantage? It is go time, and it is Sam Lowes down. Zarco's inside, he's through. Well, here comes Rabat and Rins, but I block Folger. You can certainly you think I'm playing as Folger there. He's so close, and then we break for turn 1. Zarco gets hung out to dry a little bit, and then there goes Simeon as well, but I give him a nudge, and I'm back past Morbidelli. So poor start for my standards, but I seem to be making it up. There's Johan Zarco, the man that is leading the World Championship, and I take him to the cleaners as well. That's me up to 4th position. But Rins looks to be in fine form at his home track, and this will be a great chance for the number 40 rider to make a breakthrough in this season. I run a little wide due to accelerating very early, but now we make a break for turn number 5, if I'm not mistaken, and then we accelerate down the hill underneath the advertising board, and now braking for intermediate split number 2 coming up very soon. There it is, and now up we go. And this is one of the harder corners in a car, but on the bike you can just generally ease your way through and get the power down very quickly. But the top 3 have broken ranks very, very quickly, and now this is the corner variation from the motorbikes as opposed to the F1. And Zarco and Folger have found a weakness, and they go for the inside line, but I get a quick getaway and retain my 4th position. But the leaders, it is Rins in the lead actually. We can get a close-up of them now. It's Alex Rins leading for the very first time this season. Now the traditional sweeping right turns conclude lap number 1, and now we brake for the final time, and there we go. I actually managed to go onto the grass, but we're away, and there we go. The top 3 have a half a second on me, but Johan Zarco in 5th place. That could be a disaster for his championship hopes, because of how much of a penalty you receive if you don't finish well in even one race. So 0.6 of a second separates me from the top 3, but they are very slow into turns 1 and 2. I now go for turn 3 and I'm through. Rins has been held up by Rabat and I go for the outside line. Could this be the overtake I need so desperately? Braking now. Yes, this could be the moment. There we are, come on, yes, hold on. Yeah, there we go. My Tech 3 is in the lead and there is nothing my opponents could have done about that. And now we are back to where, you know, we should have been really. I wanted to win this race and here we go. I have my chance. So let's fast forward a little bit and see how the other guys can keep up. I am setting the pace here, 4/10 clear in just one lap of being in the lead, and I make a little bit of a mistake in the final 2 turns, but we're okay. And it's half a second now as we go back to normal speed, and that's a new track record for me. And now it looks like the other guys are catching up. Rins tries an outside move and I have to go on the Astro to retain my momentum, but I've held on and thankfully no one was taken down in a crash. But that was a scary moment. You can see Rins is hungry to win at his home Grand Prix. It seems like I am the party pooper, wrecking it for the French and Spanish as things stand. And suddenly I'm 0.6 of a second clear. Rins has nobody to slipstream and I'm just pulling away. And there we go, pardon the interruption, but we're back into the thick of things and we're about to beat the halfway point now. The capacity crowd on my left cheering me on, or at least I'm hoping so. It's another good lap and Rins is starting to concede defeat here. 1.2 seconds is far too much to make up in this series, and we now fast forward for the benefit of time, and now we're heading into the final intermediate split. My lead is 2 seconds over Sam Lowe's, and now there is a great battle going on behind me, but I don't care one bit. I want the maximum 25 points and I'm going to take them in just 2 corners time if I maintain my composure. My last visit to Spain was not so successful in Jerez, but the year before at Valencia I fell at the last corner, the very tricky left-hander, but here in Catalunya there is no such problem and I'm going to take the victory at the monster Spanish Grand Prix. The flashing sort of leaderboard is the most amusing thing in this episode, and I will certainly laugh it up, taking all 25 points. And it's Sam Lowe's breaking the heart of Rins as well. He will finish 3rd, Tito Rabat 4th. Johan Zarco had a disastrous race and he must settle with 5th. Morbidelli 6th, Folger 7th, Mika Kallio 8th, Lucy 9th, Simeon 10th, Cortesi 11th, Marquez 12th, Corsi 13th, Simon 14th, and Baldassari in the top 15, just a few tenths down. Anthony West among others there, Schrotter, Pons, Krummenacher, all managing to finish the race but way down the pack. So the championship now looks like this. Zarco's lead is down to 4. I overtake Rabat into 3rd, and Rins is a long way back, but he'll be so proud of himself getting a big podium. And now 20 riders have World Championship points out of a possible 31, so that's great to see, a very competitive series. But in this Constructors' Championship, Kalex are the dominant manufacturer. Speed Up are in 2nd ahead of my Tech 3, and then Suter remain locked on nothing. So a fantastic ride for me. Probably the least interesting episode I've made. It was just one-way traffic. No Johan Zarco to bother me this time around, and we're going to lap up all the fans and credits for this episode. Nearly 300,000 for me, 300,000 fans and nearly 600,000 credits. So there is the podium. It's so bleak with the rain clouds, just like it was at Le Mans, but no problem for me whatsoever. 10 minutes 54 seconds was all I needed to win this race, but thankfully the other 2 teams are happy, and now I'll see you again at the main menu. I've done it again. It's another victory on camera for myself, and it opens up the championship so much now, as Johan Zarco had a nightmare race. I'll need to check back exactly what happened to him, but he must have got a really bad getaway into turn 1, and I made up for it myself. So Jorge Lorenzo won in front of his home crowd, which opens up his championship bid, and then Denny Kent yet again winning in the Moto3, and Sam Lowes was pretty congratulatory, and yeah, that's pretty much all that needs to be said about my fanzine. So Rossi has a 13-point lead over his two Spanish rivals, and Danny Pedrosa's way back. In Moto3, Danny Kent has regained his 20-point lead, and then in the thrilling Moto2 title race, I'm finally into third position in the championship, ready to catch up to Sam Lowes and Zarco as well. Just a thrilling episode for me anyway. I don't know about the spectator. It was a very clear dominant race for me, and we now have a perfect Tech 3 bike, and we could probably afford some of the other top grade bikes as well if I suddenly become undominant and I need a method to catch up. But hopefully if I have a big enough championship lead later in the season, I can up the difficulty and make things a little bit trickier for me on my bid to win the Moto2 title. But that is all for today, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed watching me, and we'll speak again soon. Goodbye.